Hi, this is an ending spoiler for the 2014 movie Godzilla. I'm going to be telling you the plot of the movie and how it ends. In 1999, scientist Ishiro Serizawa and Vivienne are called to a quarry in the Philippines, where an enormous skeleton and two egg-shaped pods have been discovered. Shortly after realizing one of the pods has hatched, the Janjira Nuclear Plant near Tokyo, Japan, suffers an explosion and radiation leak. Plant supervisor Joe Brody attempts to save his wife, Sandra, and her team, but they fail to escape the containment area in time, and Joe is forced to close the containment doors on her and her team. Their son Ford observes the total collapse of the plant from his school. The event is attributed to an earthquake and results in the evacuation and quarantine of the Janjira area. 15 years later, Ford is an explosive ordnance disposal officer in the United States Navy, living in San Francisco with his wife Ellie and son Sam. When Joe is arrested for trespassing in the quarantine area, Ford travels to Japan to assist him. He is convinced by Joe, who believes the event to be a cover-up, to come with him to Janjira. There, they discover no signs of radiation and are soon caught and taken into custody inside a secret complex built within the plant ruins. Inside the complex, a massive chrysalis, similar to the one seen in the Philippines 15 years prior, is being studied, led by Dr. Serizawa and Graham. The chrysalis hatches and unleashes a gigantic winged creature, which flies off after obliterating the facility containing it. Joe is wounded in the chaos and dies shortly after the carnage is settled, while Ford joins a U.S. Navy team to track the monster, which is using the aircraft carrier U.S. Saratoga as a center of operations for the mission. Aboard the Saratoga, Ford is informed by Serizawa and his team that the creature he saw at Janjira was a muto, or massive unidentified terrestrial organism, an ancient creature from a much earlier time period which feeds off radiation and radioactive material. It in turn is being hunted by a much larger animal that was awoken during a deep-sea expedition in 1954. Its existence has been continually covered up, following numerous attempts to kill it with nuclear weapons. Ford reveals that his father has tracked the form of some sort of scientific thing, I didn't understand that part, from the Janjira area, which leads the team to believe that the muto was communicating with something else. A U.S. Navy search team in Hawaii finds the wreck of a Russian nuclear submarine that has reported an attack and finds the muto, feeding on its reactor. The military attacks the muto and a battle ensues at Honolulu International Airport. The larger creature, named Godzilla by the United States Navy staff, suddenly arrives and fights the muto before pursuing it as it leaves the island. The second mutopod, which was brought from the Philippines to the Yucca Mountain Nuclear Waste Repository in Nevada, hatches and breaks free, demolishing Las Vegas as it heads towards the west coast. Serizawa then concludes that the second muto is a female, and the two are converging on the city of San Francisco to breed. A plan approved by Rear Admiral Stenz to lure all three monsters into the ocean with an armed nuclear warhead and kill them in the ensuing blast, much to Serizawa's disapproval. Before the plan can be put into action, the mutos steal the warhead and construct a nest around it in the middle of downtown San Francisco, threatening the lives of millions. When the Navy attempts to prevent Godzilla from entering the city, Serizawa advises that Godzilla may be the only thing capable of stopping the mutos, as all weapons have proven useless against the creatures. When Godzilla reaches the mutos, a fierce battle takes place, causing widespread destruction. While the mutos are distracted with Godzilla, Ford and a team of soldiers enter the nest and try to disarm the warhead. It is discovered to be badly damaged and cannot be disarmed, and is instead taken to a boat to be driven out as far to sea as possible before it detonates. The nest is destroyed by Ford, and Godzilla kills the two mutos before collapsing, apparently dead. Ford gets on the boat out to sea and is rescued by the army before the warhead explodes, saving San Francisco from annihilation. In the aftermath, Ford is reunited with his son and his wife, and Godzilla, presumed dead, suddenly awakens. Cheered for by the people of the city and touted king of the monsters by the media, he returns to the Pacific Ocean. That's how the movie ends.